We start in Minnesota. What's next for Sam Darnold?
The Minnesota Vikings officially did not use their franchise nor transition tag on Sam Darnold.
Sam Darnold agreeing to a 3-year, $110.5 million deal with the Seahawks.
They got to make sure the receiver core is straight. Otherwise, all that stuff that Sam did to rehabilitate his career in Minnesota goes right out the window.
It's gone. J.J. McCarthy is the only quarterback on the roster.
J.J. McCarthy is going to be the starting quarterback.
He's exceeded our expectations at every point.
It's a competition with myself. I know I'm ready to start.
Schedule release for the 2025 season continues. Hey, 3 teams from the NFC North made the playoffs last season. It's the most competitive division in the NFL at ESPN Bet Sportsbook. The Lions, a plus 135 favorite to win the North. The Bears have the lowest odds at plus 425. The closest team between the first and last place for any division in the league. As you can see, it's just really stacked in this division. Now, the Lions enter this season with 2 new coordinators, and it's a playoff rematch for Dan Campbell's team against the Commanders in Week 1. Washington upset Detroit in the divisional round last year to end the Lions' season. Also in Week 10, the Packers have a playoff rematch as the defending Super Bowl champs head to Lambeau on Monday Night Football. The Eagles won 22-10 over the Packers in that wild card round, a season-low 10 points for Green Bay in that loss. Remember that on Monday Night Football. It'll be really interesting to see those two again. Of course, we'll bring that to you from Green Bay. Now, the Bears back on Monday night in Week 6 against the Commanders. A rematch of the Hail Mary game. Remember this? James Daniels won it in the final seconds in this incredible play. The Bears' season went downhill from there. You wonder if that play hadn't happened, if maybe it would have affected the Bears' season differently. But either way, the Vikings have the division's only new starting quarterback as this season J.J. McCarthy takes over from Minnesota after missing his entire rookie year with a torn meniscus. He'll make his first career start against Caleb Williams and the Bears in Week 1 on Monday Night Football. Dan, as you think about J.J. McCarthy, there's a lot of pressure on this guy, right? They move on from Sam Darnold despite his success, and they say, we're going to put it all in your hands, J.J. A small sample size of what we've seen from him, but what do you expect?
I think he's going to play just as good as Sam Darnold did last year. I think he's going to have this Vikings team very much so just the way that Sam Darnold had them last year, contending for the NFC North division and a highly ranked playoff football team. The way that he has been taught to play football is ideal for the way that Kevin O'Connell wants his quarterback to play football. Very much so attached to the timing and rhythm. So you're talking Week 1 Bears, Falcons. The defense don't matter. They're going to run their offense, and it's going to be a top 5 offensive line. They got as good a receiver as anybody, probably one of the top 2 or 3 receiving cores in football. And this is a defense that might have one of the best front sevens in football. That's a quarterback, specifically a young quarterback's friend. I think this is going to be a very similar performance quarterback and team-wise to what it was last year.
How about the Bears, Lou? Ben Johnson taking over there. If you look at a team that tried to do the most for their quarterback this offseason, you could make a case for the Bears. The way they've reshaped that O-line, they've added so many weapons for Caleb. How do you see this playing out as you look at their schedule on the screen?
Look, I think Ryan Poles did a masterful job, quite honestly, Laura. I mean, he did everything that he could possibly do, starting with building this offensive line inside out and solidifying the interior 3 from guard to guard. I think they've got weapons galore on the perimeter. I think Caleb is just set up uniquely for success with Ben Johnson. I think coming right out of the gate, at home against the Vikings, look, they got to jump all over JJ on Monday Night Football. They've got to win that football game and then go over there, go to the Lions in that raucous environment with some changes that they're having, see whether or not they were able to address their pass rush issues there in Detroit. Can they protect them there? And then with the Cowboys back at home. I mean, that's huge. That's an opportunity right there to at least start maybe 3-1. That's what I would be looking at right there. And if you can go into the bye at 3-1, I think you'd be super happy.
Yeah.
Gosh, hearing Dan talk about the Vikings, I'm like, they're good. Hearing Lewis talk about the Bears, they're good. We know the Lions are. And this is a really good division.
Best division in ball.
And it's in the Packers. I had the Packers going to the Super Bowl last year. I was all in on the Packers. It's like, it just didn't happen. They came up short. They lost in the wild card round. They had a couple wide receivers. I thought it was interesting that Aaron Banks signed a $77 million deal to come over there to be an offensive guard. Like, they lose Josh Myers, the center. The Packers, to me, the standard is the standard. It always is. But Gosh, that division is hard.
You know what's weird? No one's talking about them.
No, I'm saying
Maybe
they're
you're
like
a year late, or no, you were a year early. Excuse me. You were on the front end of picking the Packers.
I
to be in
don't
the
know what I
Super
feel
Bowl.
about them this year.
yeah, flying
Okay,
under the radar.
in a minute, I'm going to ask you all a really tough question. But first, Adam, let's go through the Lions' schedule as we look at how stacked this division is.
I think that they're without their coordinators, and I think that's going to be a big deal on the offensive side of the football, the defensive side of the football. The last time we saw a successful team lose both their coordinators, the way the Lions lost Ben Johnson to the Bears and Aaron Glenn to the Jets, we saw the Philadelphia Eagles struggle when they lost Shane Steichen to the Colts and Jonathan Gannon to the Cardinals. So early on, they're going to have to get acclimated right away at Green Bay. Not going to be easy. Home for Chicago and at Baltimore in a big Monday Night Football matchup. Not a simple start to the season.
Okay, I don't want any hemming and hawing from you guys. Who is your favorite in the NFC North? I know it's May, but let's just do it. Who you got, Dan?
I would take the Green Bay Packers.
Okay.
I think they're going to be the most complete team.
No, I'm going with Minnesota. Look, I am a firm believer in JJ, and I think Kevin O'Connell is his absolute superstar. And Josh McCown needs to be a head coach.
I agree.
I value the continuity in Green Bay with Dan. I think the coaching staff all comes back. They didn't lose anything major. And gosh, I think the addition of Golden is a real deal in the receivers room. I'm going to go Green Bay.
Follow the money. Look where the odds are. The Lions are the favorite, right? I mean, why are we making this harder than it has to be?
sensible.
Yeah.
Vegas says the Lions are going to win.
It's that easy. No Chicago. No one taking Chicago.
I was going to take Chicago. I mean,
big
I
jump.
think
That would be a
Listen.
big jump.
whatever.
You think
I'm going to be a
Ben
little
Johnson
braver
talked
than you
before
guys.
then?
I think they might be really, really good. This sounds like I'm hemming and hawing now, but whatever. I'll say it. Let's say the Bears are going to be the best in the NFC North.